So NASCAR made its major series return to the Rock on Friday with the Craftsman Truck Series, as they finally got to smell what the Rock is cooking.
It's just a smell what the Rock is cooking.
Not that Rock, but Rockingham Speedway specifically, in which Tyler Ankrum got the win at the Black's Tire 200 by saving fuel, and the margin of victory was 6.657 seconds ahead of pole winner and runner-up Jake Garcia. The win at Rockingham ended a 130-race winless lead for Ankrum, who drives the 18 McAnally Hilgeman Racing Chevrolet. It was the first win for him since July 11, 2019 at Kentucky Speedway, which was his first career win in the Craftsman Truck Series. That win was so long ago that Kentucky is no longer on the NASCAR National Series schedule, and he couldn't find victory lane after winning at the Rock. Rockingham made his return to the Craftsman Truck Series schedule after not being on the schedule since 2013. Ankrum had to come back from damage after being in an accident on lap 2, which put him 1 lap down. Ankrum got back on the lead lap after a caution break for stage 2 ending after lap 90 and made his way back to the front of the field. The trophy wasn't the only prize that Ankrum got after winning the race. He also got a $50,000 check for winning the final Triple Truck Challenge race. Here's Ankrum talking about getting the win and more, courtesy of FS1.
I don't know. I don't know. It's strange. Well, it's strange. I lost. I didn't know where victory lane was at. But no, it's. I can't thank these guys enough for the way this day started and going a lap down and Mark making the pit call to get the track position back and just saving fuel. Man, it was just coming with 6 to go. I was like, I knew that was the number. I knew we were 5 short. I was hoping I saved enough, and we did.
Ankrum was also asked on what he was thinking and how he was able to save so much fuel and more, also courtesy of FS1.
I mean, I know being 5-6 laps short, it's 6 miles, 5-6 miles, so you just got to be able to give up everything. But I just found something there where I was pretty much lifting about 60% down the straightaway, but I was able to draft off of Kraft and a couple of other guys, and I was just able to save that way. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man, it's surreal. I feel like this is pretty much how it went down in Kentucky in 2019. But here we are now with a 50-grand check.
Ankrum took the lead for good on lap 172 after Corey Heim and Gio Ruggiero pitted. The 2 Tricon Garage drivers stayed on the track during consecutive cautions early in the final stage and were running 1-2, but had to pit for fuel. Here's Heim talking about how his day went and more, also courtesy of FS1.
Yeah, just, I don't know. I thought we were really, really good all day. Had a really good Tundra Tier Pro. Huge thank you to Toyota and Safe Flight for all their efforts, check on garage. Yeah, I felt like if we had the track position, we would have been in really good shape from the very start. Just didn't have a good qualifying effort on my end and kind of was an uphill battle all day. So I didn't exactly know what was going on the last 40 laps there. I just know we pit and seems like a lot of guys were able to make it on fuel. So just unfortunate. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a weird deal there in the last stage. Just got to be better on my part to qualify better and have the track position. So once again, huge thank you to Truck on Garage, Safe Flight Toyota for all their efforts.
Despite the Front Row Motorsports Sport teammates of Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith pitting after Heim did, neither had enough fuel to make it to the end. They had to pit with only a couple laps left in the race. Daniel Hemrick finished 3rd, Roger Carew 4th, and Grant Empinger was 5th. Those drivers benefited from the boards being short on fuel. Defending champion Ty Majeski had more problems during this race, as his truck got loose on the inside lane in turn 1, while battling Empinger on lap 109. Majeski's 98 Thor Sport Racing Ford backed into the outside wall and was out of the race. He wound up finishing 31st, after finishing 13th at Martinsville Speedway and 33rd at Bristol Motor Speedway in the previous 2 races. Here's Majeski's thoughts on the incident and more. I can't really blame Grant, Majeski said. He held me tight. Obviously took the air off my right side. Yeah, just embarrassed, honestly. The last 3 weeks isn't who I am as a driver. I feel so bad for everybody at ThorSport, owners Duke and Rhonda Thorson. Yeah, I just need to be better. Heim led a race high 52 laps, with Garcia leading 43 and Ankrum 29. The rest of the top 10 was Caden Honeycutt finishing 6th, Jack Wood 7th, Corey Heim 8th, Connor Mozak 9th, and Gio Ruggiero 10th. Other notable finishers included Lane Riggs, who finished 11th, Chandler Smith, 13th. Sammy Smith, who got his first career Xfinity Series win at Rockingham the next day on Saturday, after Jesse Love was disqualified, was 16th in this race. Brandon Jones, 17th. Tony Breidinger, 18th. Frankie Muniz, 23rd. Matt Crafton, 24th. Parker Kligerman, 25th. Tanner Gray, 28th. Stuart Prieston, 29th. And Ben Rhodes, 32nd, respectively. In celebration of NASCAR returning to Rockingham, Michael McDowell ran a Race to Rock paint scheme in the Cup Series race at Martinsville to promote the races at Rockingham, which were held on Easter weekend. Congratulations to Tyler Ankrum winning at Rockingham. What an incredible win for him to be able to do that, especially on a track that hadn't been on the schedule for so long and all that. And for him to be able to end a 130 race winless streak, pretty incredible that he got to do that, especially because of the fact that it had been so long since he won. Especially when you're a driver and you win a race, you don't know where you're going to win again. So definitely it's a big deal to try to savor every win you can. So especially I had no idea that he drives for McAnally, especially because of the fact that I knew that the 19 was part of that organization, especially when Derek Kraus used to drive for the organization, as well as Christian Eckes. And obviously now Daniel Hamrick now drives for the organization. And he got a win for the organization a couple of weeks earlier at Martinsville Speedway. That was his first win in the Craftsman Truck Series. So that was pretty cool that he got to do that, especially for Ankrum getting to do it at Rockingham there as well, for him to be able to win and all that. So both teams in that organization got to get a win. So that's pretty cool for Ankrum to be able to do that, especially in the race that had fuel mileage. Because of the fact you don't see a lot of races that have fuel mileage races anymore. Because of the fact with stage racing and all that, that allows teams to be able to pit multiple times or save fuel and all that. So that could play a factor in the outcome of how a race ends up finishing. But definitely a lot of drivers had to pit because of the fact for that situation with fuel. Corey Hyde, like, he was running well and all that, especially he was dominating and put up great lap times. But he didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end, so he had to pit. Several drivers had to do that especially, but definitely good for Ankrum. He got to take advantage of having a big lead and all that, especially for him to like be able to win there at Rocket is pretty cool, like I said, and all that. And he ended up like still having enough fuel to celebrate and do a burnout and all that. So he just had enough fuel to be able to make it. So definitely the right place at the right time there for Ankrum. So definitely pretty excited that he got to do it there at Rockingham because of the fact that the Craftsman Truck Series and NASCAR in general hadn't been there in so long since 2013. As Kyle Larson was the driver who won that race the last time the Craftsman Truck Series raced there. So definitely it's pretty cool to be able to see Rockingham come back to NASCAR and all that, especially. I talked about the announcement of NASCAR coming back to Rockingham, which I said was exciting. I highly recommend that video, and I'll leave that in the description. It didn't look like they would come back at all, but definitely was pretty cool to see like the incredible crowd that was there at the Craftsman Truck Series race. And Xfinity Series race was sold out as well, so definitely was pretty cool to also see the Welcome Back NASCAR billboard on the track there as well, not far away from the start-finish line. And the track looked pretty incredibly clean, especially with the walls looking incredible with the paint, as well as the track being freshly painted and all that. It felt like a new track, so definitely was pretty cool to be able to see like the track at Rockingham and all that. Especially, hopefully they come back. Especially, that would be a pretty cool dig there as well. The Craftsman Truck Series has come back to a number of tracks, especially that they used to race at before. They went back to North Wilkesboro Speedway 2023 and Indianapolis Raceway Park in 2022. So definitely it's pretty cool to see the Craftsman Truck Series come back to tracks like that, especially since that goes back to their roots of being able to race at shorter tracks from what they used to do earlier in their days when they first started. So definitely that's pretty cool there, especially like to be able to like to see something like that, especially how it's been a long time. So definitely hopefully, like I said, they come back and all that, especially, and hopefully a Cup race come back there as well. That would be pretty cool to be able to see all three series there at the track on the same weekend, and that would be pretty incredible as well to be able to help like the track be able to make more upgrades and all that. And especially when I saw the race, there were no lights, so hopefully they end up putting lights because that would be pretty cool to be able to see the Craftsman Truck Series there at night, especially how wild they could get, especially an incredible show it would provide there as well, since night racing is always more exciting in my opinion. So hopefully they do that, especially at some point. But yeah, definitely it was an exciting show, especially the Xfinity Series wasn't as exciting as how it was the Craftsman Truck Series because of the fact that there was a lot of crashes all that race. But the Craftsman Truck Series race was a lot more calmer. I mean, the crashes do happen because of the fact that it is racing and all that, but it's a lot better when it's mostly calm, and especially it creates for a more exciting race. It can cause like drama and all that, you know, like to be able to cause more excitement, especially like towards the end of a race, especially with the drama of fuel mileage and all that, especially with a lot of crashes. It just takes the drivers out of a rhythm, and it just makes the race feel a lot longer and slower and all that at times, especially it drags on. So definitely it was a pretty cool, like, to be able to see the Craftsman Truck Series race mostly clean, all that. You know, some big name drivers had their share of issues, especially with Ty Majeski and Matt Crafton having problems. A lot of big name drivers had problems in the race, especially, but it is what it is there, especially. But yeah, it was pretty cool to also, like, that Casey Kane, like, he says he won the first race there in 2012. He got to make his comeback in Xfinity race. He was running well. Unfortunately, he had an incident with Williams Wallace and caught the leg, but he did bounce back and finish 15th. But definitely it was a pretty incredible weekend there at Rockingham, like I said, and all that. So definitely it was an incredible show. And like I said, hopefully they come back. NASCAR comes back there, especially that would be pretty incredible for the track. And hopefully it gets to stick around for longer than 2 years compared to how it was the first time it was on the Craftsman Truck Series schedule. So we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, the broadcasting is different, a little bit different this year, especially with Adam Alexander no longer being a part of it because of the fact that he went to the CW. And so Jamie Little's the sole play-by-play. She doesn't have that much enthusiasm in the booth. When you're a play-by-play person, you want to show enthusiasm, especially. And she is okay in the booth, but she's better on pit road, especially kind of like doing what Vince Welch did before, you know, all that, especially. They're just not meant to be play-by-play. There's nothing against Jamie Little. She's good at what she does on pit road, but unfortunately in the booth, she just doesn't have that type of enthusiasm, especially with big moments happening in a race and all that. But Michael Waltrip came back to the booth there as well at Rockingham. He hadn't been in the booth in a while, so at least like on the race that I've seen in the Craftsman Truck Series. So he is what he is there, especially. He's not, you know, he's all right in the booth, but people know how he is and all that, especially in the booth. But what I really enjoyed was Carson Holzemore. He was really good there in the booth. He provided good analysis there, especially. He was a part of the drivers only broadcast at hosted by Miami Speedway earlier in the year, the Craftsman Truck Series. He was a pit reporter along with Austin Cindric. And Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano in the booth. And I enjoyed that broadcast, especially. That was the race that Kyle Larson won. It was very entertaining and all that. And hopefully Holzemore gets to be in the booth more. I can see him probably doing that as a career at some point there as well. So, yeah, hopefully they do that. But, yeah, it is what it is there, especially with the broadcast with the Craftsman Truck Series on FS1 and Fox and all that. It's not the best, but it is what it is there, especially. But, yeah, it's still cool that Fox and FS1 still has driver analysts, especially since they no longer have the rights to the Xfinity Series because of the fact that that's now exclusively on the CW. So that's a good thing there as well. But, yeah, congratulations again to Tyler Ankrum winning at Rockingham. What an incredible win for him there, especially. He has the honor of being the first driver since 2013 to win a major NASCAR race there at Rockingham. And he has the momentum moving forward there as well. I didn't want to pass up an opportunity to talk about this race because of the fact that it had been so long since NASCAR had a major race there at Rockingham. And I wanted to talk about it, which I'm glad I did there as well. So that's pretty cool that they came back. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you are brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.